What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about 4 ways to run a fade route. So we're going to be talking about 4 specific different looks that you'll see at the wide receiver position. First one we're going to be talking about is how to run a goal line fade versus an inside shade DB in the red zone. Then we're going to be talking about how to run a fade route versus off coverage outside leverage. So how do you run that specific fade route? And then we're going to be talking about 2 specific man coverage situations and how you guys can create separation. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Let's get started with this. So anytime that I got a DB who's inside shade, right? The number one thing that I have to understand is that he is trying to protect the inside. He's lined up inside shade for a reason. His goal is for me to just take the outside release, take what he gives me, and to get right into my hip pocket and force me all the way to the sideline. He does not want to give up the slant. That's the number one thing in this specific coverage. So let's watch it full speed. So Gallup does a great job of attacking that DB, giving him a little head fake inside, and then setting him up and giving that quarterback space to throw him open. Okay, so now, inside shade, right? A lot of guys will just take off and run. Like I said, that's exactly what the DB wants me to do. I have to threaten him where he does not want me to go. So they call that attacking his leverage. Some people call this a squirt release. Some people call this a burst release. It could be like a hesitation hop, whatever it is, but I'm trying to attack that DB and square him up to threaten him inside. I just want him to either shift his weight inside, shuffle to the inside, weave to the inside, whatever it is, but I want to get him off that platform so I have space to operate to the outside. There's no defense for a perfect throw, and the quarterback is taught on this goal line fade just to put it either above the rim where we could go get it or just put it to a spot where I could go chase it down, right? So that's what we have to understand about this. My goal is just to keep space from the sideline so my quarterback can beat this DB with the throw. No defense for a perfect throw. So Gallup does exactly that. Attacks that leverage, bursts off to the outside. Again, he's got all kinds of space. DB has no hands on him. He's inside shade. I have some space to work. If he were to just take off and run, this DB would be right in his hip and would be forcing him to that sideline, and quarterback would have no space. So now we have some actually room to operate. We have some space from the sideline to where that quarterback could throw it above the rim and I could go make that play. So anytime that we have that goal line fade, fellas, against an inside shade DB like this, let's make sure we square him up. Let's attack his leverage. Let's get him off the platform, and let's make that move. That's a great job there by Gallup working this thing. Now we're going to be getting into, I'm going to show it full speed. Now we're going to get into what you guys should do when you have a fade route versus off coverage, and the DB is going to be outside leverage. But before we get into that, fellas, I want to talk to you guys about our QB and wide receiver training camp tour that we are doing this offseason. We are coming to 9 different cities and 8 different states this offseason. We're coming to Tampa, Florida, Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. So we're going to be coming to 9 different locations. Fellas, for this quarterback and wide receiver camp, it's not like a camp that you've been to a million times before where there's 100, 150 kids out there. We just give you a t-shirt and work you through some drills. We're actually going to give you the time in our day to actually teach you guys. We're not going to just run you through the drills. Spots are limited. There's only going to be about 10 to 12 guys per position group. So if you guys want more information on that, you want to come out and get some great work in with us, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd really appreciate having you guys out. If you guys would like to travel to one of these locations, these are the dates here in the red. But if you check out that very first link below, you'll get some more information on that. So we'd love to have you out there for our 9-city camp tour. Let's get back to this video. Okay, so now, first things first on this fade where we got an outside shade DB. This kind of looks like a double move, but it's not really. If it were an out and up, it would be he would sell the out route a little bit more. So before anybody thinks that, this is more of just a vertical set, and that's what we call this. So second way to run a fade versus an outside shade DB is I have to threaten him outside and take this inside release. Okay, so let's watch this full speed. So Hopkins does a great job of kind of angling his stem to the outside, taking that inside release and being able to make a play downfield. Okay, all we really need, fellas, downfield, especially when a DB's outside shade. Let's talk about that first, right? So off of that fade route that we talked about, the DB was where? That first one that we did, the goal line fade. He was inside shade, right? He's inside shade because he wants to force me to the outside, right? And that's his help. The sideline is his help. He's trying to force me out of bounds. Now, we got the opposite end of the spectrum, and he's just off coverage. It's all really the same when it comes to leverage. He's outside shade now, and he's off, right? So why would he be outside shade? Think about it like the opposite. He's trying to force me where? He's trying to force me inside. Why? Because he probably has help to the inside, right? So as a wide receiver, I don't want to force the outside release unless it is a must outside release play. And chances are you're probably not even getting the ball on that play anyway. So when I have this outside shade DB like this, I got to threaten him, same concept, just like the inside release of where he doesn't want me to go. So where do I want to threaten him? I want to threaten him outside. His goal is not to get beat outside. He does not have any help over here. So if we're able to slip behind, he's not going to have any help. That's safe safety will not be able to get over there, and that's a blown coverage. So he's going to do whatever it takes to protect the outside. So Hopkins does a great job of angling his stem to the outside, giving that move. They call that like a little vertical set or like a pressure step where you just give a little fake to the outside. And if I get this DB off that platform and I can take the inside release, that's fine. I just got to make sure that my mindset is to restack and get back over the top. There is nothing worse than running a fade route where from a quarterback perspective, take it from a guy who's got experience with both positions. Nothing worse than throwing a fade route when you are a yard from the sideline. Nothing worse. I cannot complete that pass because I have very, very small room to miss, and that is such a hard throw to make. I have to throw a perfect ball to even have that. So if you guys are forcing the outside release, we shouldn't do that. Take what the DB gives you, right? But we got to make sure that we threaten him, number one, to keep him honest so he doesn't just get right into me, right? So great job by Hopkins making that move. And you see how he doesn't avoid and run around this guy. He doesn't avoid and run around Ramsey. He gets right past him. He goes hip to hip. He keeps that head down so he's able to restack and so he doesn't run into the safety. That's what we have to be careful of, fellas. We cannot run into the safety when I take that inside release on a fade. That's why all the coaches who don't understand this tell you, oh, never take an inside release on a fade, because guys don't understand how to restack and don't understand how the quarterback needs space, but also they don't understand that there's a safety right there. They're just worrying about the guy in front of them. Understand that there's a safety to the middle of the field. You're going to run into him, and that's a pick, or you're getting your head taken off. So do yourself a favor, and when you set this guy up outside, let's restack. Let's go hip to hip with him and be able to get over the top. Now, again, this ball is underthrown, but you see there's the safety help we were just talking about. Great job by Hopkins making a play on this thing. And again, downfield, fellas, I just need a step or two. That should be your mindset as a receiver. I don't need to be wide ass open. I need a step or two on this DB so I have a chance to go get a 50-50 ball or go get the ball wherever it may be. So second way to run a fade, when you have outside shade, zone coverage like this, take what the DB gives you. Don't force the outside release. He will wall you right to the sideline. Work him off the platform with your stem. Maybe give him that little vertical set or pressure step to the outside, and then I can slip. Now, if he's in zone and maybe he's like head up, I would want to go straight at him, give him the pressure step inside and slip to the outside. But when he's outside shade like this, we got to take what he gives me. Do not force it. He wants you to try to force it so he could put you right to that sideline. Let's watch the thing again full speed. Great job by Hopkins angling the stem, giving him a fake outside. Then again, keeping that head down to get downfield so he has an opportunity to make a play on this ball. All right, fellas. So now, third way to run a fade. This is going to be outside shade, press coverage, or like catch technique where we have about a yard or two from this DB. It's not like he's off coverage, but we're going to talk about the same principles apply and how you guys can kind of read a DB based off of this specific leverage, okay? So let's watch this full speed. So Doug Baldwin does a great job of attacking the DB outside, seeing that he's taking away the outside release, and then again, using that restack to give himself an opportunity to make a play downfield, okay? Let's watch this full speed, or let's break this down, excuse me. So I come up to the line. I see that the DB's outside shade. Automatically, what should you be thinking? He's got help over here. So he wants me to just take off and go run to the inside because he's like, that's where I want him to go. I got help over there. It's fine if he just takes off and run. Where does he not want to get beat? He does not want to get beat to the outside. So if I could work him outside, get him off that platform, then I have some space to restack and stay in this straight line. Or some people, if you're working out on a field like some people like to work out like at their school, they're working out and the football field's kind of like meshed together with the soccer field, and they talk about like staying on the yellow line or staying on the red line. This will help you stay on the red line. If you guys are familiar with that, if not, it just means to restack, okay? So he comes off the line. He gives this kind of hesitation release to kind of get a read on this DB. A lot of the times you hear Doug Baldwin talk about it a lot when he's interviewed is he hesitates to get a read on this guy. How's this guy going to play me? Is he going to jump straight to the outside? Is he going to jump to the inside? Is he going to backpedal? What's he going to do? And so he gives this little hesitation move, sees that this DB's kind of shifted to the outside, keeping his leverage. So we're going to work to the outside. We're going to threaten him where he doesn't want me to go to get him off that platform. He's going to do whatever it takes to not let us slip behind him. And guess what that does? That opens up all kinds of space for me to the outside. Not to mention, think about where he's lined up. He's like on the bottom of the numbers here. So if we take the outside release right now, dude, I'm going to be right on that sideline. We got to make sure that we give some space for that quarterback to lead me. And that's exactly what Baldwin does. He does a great job of taking the inside release. And what does he do right here? Mindset needs to be what? Restack. Restack is the number one thing we need to do when we take an inside release on a fade. Or we are screwed. We are going to run into a safety that is going to be an impossible throw for the quarterback, or he's just simply going to overthrow you. So there's a great job here by Baldwin setting him up outside. inside, understanding that it's outside shade press like this, let's just take what the DB gives me. This could be like cover 2, right, where this DB is responsible for the flats, and he's going to try to get hands as hard as he can to reroute you inside. So I want to attack him where he doesn't want me to go. Let's get him to stay honest, and then I could take the inside work. Let's watch the thing again, full speed. Great job attacking outside, getting that DB off the platform, then keeping that head down to restack. Textbook route there by Doug Baldwin versus outside shade press coverage. Okay, so now, fourth way to run a fade, this is going to be against straight up press coverage, is we have to understand that it builds off of a fade. So when you or a slant, excuse me, it builds off of a slant, So when you have to run a fade route against press coverage, we should always make it look like a slant route. Just like that one route where the DB was inside shade and I had to run the goal line fade, he attacked his leverage to make him think that, oh, he's just going to attack my leverage and take off to the inside. And then we use the space that we created to work to the outside. So let's watch this release here from Justin Jefferson. There's more like a slot fade where he gives this little hesitation release, and again, able to take the outside and have this quarterback drop this thing in the bucket. So anytime, everybody loves to say this, that you see a receiver do this little hesitation skip release right here, oh, expect slant. Just sit to the inside because he's going to try to slide you outside, give you a move and go. This is what builds off of that, fellas. As a wide receiver, we got to almost be playing tricks on this DB 24/7. I'm making my releases look the same, I'm making my routes look the same, my stem looks the same. Everything looks the same, so he has to stay disciplined and watch my hips rather than guess the route and anticipate the route, because if a DB can anticipate your route, even though he shouldn't be, but if he can because you're being too predictable, we will not get any separation. So Jefferson does a great job of sliding. He does this little skip, sees the DB's inside and just takes off, right? That's what we have to do. That little skip right there will get that DB to stop his feet. He's expecting slant, especially if you've done that before. Let's say maybe you have like a backside slant, and let's say the quarterback, and like, let's say here's the running back right here, and he's handing the ball off to the running back, or maybe it's like, maybe you're just backside on a play, maybe your job is just to run a slant, run the guy off, keep him honest, and you hit him with this type of a release, and you give him that move, and you break off on a slant, you bet your ass the next time that you see this as a DB, the next time that you see this little hesitation release, he's going to sit there because he doesn't want to jump. He doesn't want to get beat on that again. He's already been beat on it. So that's how we build off of it. And maybe you do get the ball. Maybe you actually run the slant. You actually catch it. Whatever it is. But we got to make sure that the releases for a slant route and a fade route both build off of each other so we are unpredictable. That is the fourth way to run a fade route. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Jefferson, making it all look the same tempo, same stem, or same distance, and being able to create separation over the top. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. I always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great hearing from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, we're coming to 9 states this offseason, or 9 different cities, 8 different states this offseason. Check out that very first link in the description below if you want some more information on how you guys can come out, get better with us. Limited spots only. That's why we're doing such small numbers, because we really want to focus on developing you guys. It's a 2-day long camp, so you're going to get 8 hours with us. Great opportunity to get some work in. Check out that very first link below. I'll see you guys next time.